Scott Reddin, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright, thanks, yourself.
Yeah, not too bad. So we caught up a couple of weeks ago at Goodwood, chilling out, sat on the hay bales, having a bit of a chat. I think between then and now, you got yourself a dog.
Yeah.
All right. So as we've all seen from the weekend, from the results in the MotoGP, you skittled yourself off into the litter, and I thought it would be a good question to put to you now, so that you could explain to the viewers and our readers exactly what goes through the mind of a MotoGP racer when he's picking himself or the bike up out of the gravel. It looked to me like you were just screaming fuck in your head at yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the thing is, you have such a good weekend. You know, qualify not that great. You think, okay, I have the race pace, I can make it. I didn't get off to the greatest of starts, but I passed Miller. Then I was coming up into the last corner. I was on the back of Petrucci. Just as I started to release the brake, the front just went. I had no bite from the tyre. Was like, what's happening here? And we're starting to go, and I was holding it. And then it was gone, you know, and I stood up, and I ran over to the bike, and I picked it up as fast as I could, like, you know, fucking get up.
Yeah.
And I saw everything was damaged, you know, and I dropped it on the floor, and I was really disappointed, and I was really mad, you know. I was like, fuck, why is this happening to me, you know? Like, I tried so hard all the weekend. I actually had a good pace for once, then I go and put it down in the last corner on the first lap, and I don't normally get mad, but I was really angry, you know. I just so frustrated. I just couldn't get around why that happened to me. I was just mad, you know. I just didn't want to talk. I didn't want to see anyone. Now I went in the pit box and I was still mad, you know, just angry. I just had to sit out the back. And it's actually quite upsetting when your adrenaline runs down a bit, and you think it is quite upsetting because you've tried so hard and you didn't even have a chance to prove it before the summer break, which I thought I could do. You know, I had pretty good race pace. My race pace I could have ran with that third group, you know, and that was a bit the annoying thing. And it's just sometimes you feel down. You're like, why has it happened? But then, you know, with the MotoGP, you can check everything what happened, and we checked what happened. Because, like I said to Chris, Chris, mate, I don't actually know what fucking happened. I said, I went in there, feel exactly the same, but next thing I ended up in the gravel. I didn't come down the home straight. They checked the data and stuff, and I had a bit better drive out of turn 12, coming out up to the last corner. Brake was exactly the same. I tipped in a little bit quicker, but like how the factory guys do it, you know, flicking a bit quicker. And that was it, just no grip.
The tyre wasn't ready for it.
I don't know, it was strange. It was always after the Moto3 and Moto2 race, we struggle with grip in the beginning of the race until we get some Bridgestone rubber down. But fuck, there was just nothing there whatsoever, and that was the point that, you know, I was really frustrated. But then I started to think, you know, the weekend was good. Team manager come up to me and the team said to me, you know, like, we had a real good weekend, don't let it get to you, which is true. You know, I sat back and I thought, actually, the weekend was good. I feel positive. I feel a lot better with the bike. So actually, I kind of wish in there end of 3 weeks now. I wish it was Indy this weekend and I could kind of go back there and show them what I think I have.
Yeah. So that must boost your confidence, even though there is a bit of a break coming up. And what about the rest of the circuits that are left for this season? Pick a favourite, or?
I mean, we've got a couple of good circuits. I mean, Indy, I like. Phillip Island, I like. Silverstone, Mazzano. You know, there's plenty of circuits out there that I do like. But I was saying to a couple of guys earlier, Sachsenring's not one of my favourites, but I had a really good weekend. So it just goes to show, if you can get within the ballpark with the bike, anything's kind of possible, you know, and that's what I felt this weekend. We'd made a few changes to the front of the bike, and I worked a bit more with the electronics, and I felt 100 times better, you know, much more easier to ride. I actually started to enjoy it for once, you know, and wanted to go out on the bike instead of thinking, I can fight this thing again for another 45-minute session to get nothing back from it. Yeah. But, you know, it was a bit easier. Then you see, 3rd, 8th, 10th. Oh, you know, that's kind of where I feel like I should be, you know, mixing with the top 10 guys. So really happy with how that weekend went, apart from the race, and we need to make it happen from the second half of the season.
Yeah, and just one last question. I saw you getting mobbed at Goodwood for autographs. I saw all the racers getting mobbed. What's the best way to get an autograph from Scott Reddin at the British GP? I've seen guys kind of road raging at you. Scott, come in here, come and speak to me now. That's clearly not the way to get your attention.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, when you're away from the racetrack, you kind of have more time for your fans and stuff because there's no pressure. You haven't got things to do. I mean, at Silverstone, it's quite a high schedule, and you know, I'm always willing to give fans autographs. You know, they've got their time to come to me. I'm going to give my time to them. But you know, through all the weekend, the main thing is in between the, you know, from say 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock is not the best time because I have zero time. You know, you go from meeting to meeting to meeting. You know, maybe like on a Wednesday or a Thursday or in the evening is the best times. You know, I'll be at the Riders for Health. Always be good to go there, sign a few autographs. So, you know, I'm always willing to give time to my fans.
Perfect. Well, best of luck for the rest of the season, mate. Hopefully we'll catch up at Silverstone and you won't be shouting fucking around.
Hopefully not.
Lovely old job, mate. Cool.
Good. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, buddy. What do you call your dog?
Bernard.